Hello YouTube. This week I've got the keys to a 2019 Lexus UX250h. Let's take a look. So this is the new UX250 from Lexus. This is 2019 model. It's very similar to a CT200H, so this is kind of replacing the CT200H, and I actually own one of those. It's almost the same size. It's larger. It's got a bigger wheel gap, so it's sitting up higher a little bit. Unlike a hatchback, it's kind of sitting up, so they want to call it a crossover. It's not really a crossover. It does have all-wheel drive. That's a huge bonus. And I've been averaging 5.6, 5.7 liters per 100 kilometers, which is the same as I averaged in the CT200. So that's pretty impressive for a heavier vehicle with all-wheel drive. It kind of competes with the Mercedes GLA Infiniti Q30. It's kind of that size. And we've got a power hatch here. This has got a premium package, which is $5,000 over the base price. So the base price is $39,000 something. And then add this $5,000 gives you a premium package, which gives you the power tailgate and a few other things, of course. There's a few things here. You can see the trunk. It's not very big, but man, it's almost the same size as the CT200. This is really flimsy and cheap for what we're talking. $47,000 some dollars before taxes for this vehicle in Canada. You've got this really high floor, and then what's in here is nothing. Some tools taking up a ton of space, and there's nothing underneath this, just bare metal. With a speaker, I think, or amplifier, so like you could save some space, take that out. You've got some space here for some stuff, and you got some space. This comes off somehow, maybe. There's a speaker here. Now you've got a 12-volt plug here in the back, and you've got these cool flip-down hooks, one on either side. You've got another one there. That's kind of cool. The seats fold down. If I pop this off, like any vehicle these days, or hatchback kind of vehicle. This is kind of a pain, to be honest. It's not, doesn't stay, doesn't fall off. So the seats fold flat. Actually, they don't even fold flat. They fold beyond flat, if that makes any sense. They actually go down. It actually goes down a little bit there. But that gives you a pretty big cargo area for carrying stuff. That looks larger than the CT when I look at that. So let's go look in the back. The door handles, everything's nice and chunky. This feels super solid. It's really solid feeling. Seats, put these back up. And I had two guys back here. They didn't really complain. It's not the most roomiest car in the world, but there's room here. So this is my seating position. I've got a couple inches, so it's not bad back here, and there's good headroom as well. You've got a couple of USB plugs back here as well, and a map pocket. I don't know why they call it a map pocket. I don't think anybody even makes maps anymore. No, they must make them, but nobody buys them. You've got a gigantic screen up there, and we'll go show you that up there in a second. But the front, the interior of this vehicle is really a step above what the outgoing CT is. And Lexus has been basically leaps and bounds on their interiors, in my opinion. So let's go up front and take a look at that. So on the inside here of the UX, I'm just going to start it with the power button here. I'm going to start it up, which will actually not even start the engine because it's already warmed up. You get this cool Lexus screen going on here. This one says UX. Over here, maintenance required because it needs an oil change, I guess. As you can see here in the dash, I'm averaging 5.6 liters per 100 kilometers, which is really good for an all-wheel drive vehicle, even though it is really just a small hatchback. Lots of stuff to go over on the inside here. Tons of buttons on the steering wheel. I'm still kind of annoyed that Lexus got rid of the stock for the cruise control, but here it is on the steering wheel here. You can turn on the cruise, and that puts you in radar cruise, and if you were to hold that set, it actually goes into normal cruise mode. You can control your distance for radar cruise here, and your lane departure kind of they call it lane assist or something. Anyways, it will kind of keep the car in the middle of the lane. Your radio controls over here, your volume and that, as well as your menus. So if you use this control over here on the left, you can kind of go through the menus. So there's some information on the car, range and that, and then you can also go through, like you see your compass and your radio and maintenance required and some settings here, so you can have all your different settings for a bunch of different things in there. Too much to really go through, but it's all kind of in there. And up top here, you've got your normal, sport, and eco modes. So you throw that into sport, and I'll put it back into normal. You'll see that goes to red when you put it in sport, and it also says sport up here on the main screen. And if you put it in eco, switch it down, it goes blue. And just press it to go to normal. You got your traction control on and off over here. Traction control turned off, and I don't know what happens if I hold it. Let's see. Traction control turned off, and VSC turned off. Pre-collision braking system unavailable. So it looks like it turns everything off. That's kind of cool. Automatic headlights, automatic high beams, auto climate control. It's got heated mirrors and that. These climate control buttons are nice, down and up to control that. It's got a CD player, which you don't see that often anymore. Turn this climate control system off. It's got automatic heated and cooled, or ventilated, I guess, front seats, as well as an automatic heated steering wheel, so you can just turn that on, and it will automatically decide what to do based on temperatures and that. So that's kind of cool. Couple cup holders. There's a QI or Qi or whatever you want to call it. I think I call it QI. Charger here for your phone. And another pop-up 12-volt outlet here. You've got your EV mode and your brake hold here. You've got your touchpad to control the main screen up top. And you've got volume, tuning, and radio kind of all in these little control here. This is actually kind of nice. I like that you got a volume slider here. You can see here. You got a volume slider there. And you can just tune the radio. You can just kind of switch it between channels pretty easily if you need to. The touchpad, I mean, there's a lot of... Some people like it, some people don't like it, I guess. Menu brings you to the main screen. It does have Apple CarPlay, but not Android Auto. And you press map here, you'll see you've got the full map. And if you go over on the right-hand side and you click, you can kind of have a half map and a half whatever other kind of things you want, and you can switch them around. It kind of jumps around. It takes a little bit to get used to. It kind of jumps sometimes and doesn't jump other times. I'm not sure it's the best control. I'd like it. I'd probably rather a touchscreen, but everybody's kind of moving to this. I think I'd rather a dial. The dial is pretty nice, but the screen is really nice looking. I really like the screen. You can see there's all your radio stations and stuff. Here you've got a center console. It's not huge, but it's pretty big. And in there you've got an auxiliary and 2 USB plugs, so you can charge some devices. And there's been some complaints about this glove box I saw online. Yeah, it is pretty darn small, but it is what it is. It's not a very big vehicle to start with. Everything's kind of easy to reach, comfortable. Not a huge fan of the shifter here. I have a CT200 as I mentioned, and I actually kind of like the little digital shifter. It doesn't take any space because it's up on the dash, and when you press the power button, it puts it into park automatically, whereas this one doesn't. This one's like the regular old school kind of thing, but it does have a sport mode, and you can shift your gears yourself. There's no gears though, because it's a hybrid, so it's mostly a CVT, right? When you put it in park, it does put the electronic parking brake on automatically. I'm not sure if that's a thing you can turn off, because I haven't seen a button for it, but maybe there is. I haven't read the manual either. Mirrors, controls here, 3 memory, seat setting. I believe the seats are 11-way or 10-way. It's got lumbar support. This is kind of somewhat squishy, but mostly hard plastics. So, you know, in a $50,000 vehicle, that's kind of cheesy, I guess. These vents are really nice. I like that you just turn them and you can slide them. They're really easy to control. You've got a garage door openers there on the mirror, and you've got a regular size sunroof up top. The seats are beautiful though, and this feels really nice. This kind of quilted pattern, ventilated, fully ventilated seats. So they are pretty nice. Everything, you know, really, this is soft. The interior is a huge step over what the CT200 is, if I'm going to compare it to that. So it's a huge step forward there, but you're also, I believe the starting price is about $10,000 more than the CT ever was, maybe around $8,000. So there's a big jump. So there you have it, the 2019 UX250 hybrid with all-wheel drive. With the premium package, we're looking at almost 50 grand, 47,000, so like 55-ish with taxes, depending on where you live. And I like it, but it's a lot of money. So it is a premium crossover, and don't think there is another premium crossover all-wheel drive hybrid available on the market. So it's got a niche thing for you there. There is the NX hybrid, but it's not really small like this one. So this is kind of like compact or subcompact or whatever they want to call it. All right, thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel.